Today did not go as planned. What happened today, yes, it might have been predictable, but like this much of prediction of the fact that it could actually happen, or yes, maybe there were signs that it could happen, but the fact that it actually did is the fact that the fact that it happened, I still can't wrap my mind around it. Because even though I had general stress throughout the week and everything, this semester so far has been going so great. Like, no joke. Like, I took my first exam recently for the whole semester and basically got 100%. 100%. Basically, very close. And for a first exam, I'm really proud of that because that has not happened for a first exam. Usually the first exam, what I have experienced is that typically it's the lowest grade I'll get. Even if it's like an 80, that's like the lowest I would get for that class, because based off of that, I'll determine my study method for the rest of the semester for that course. Anyways, today was going by like any other day. I'm going to my classes and going throughout my day. Unusual, I get a phone call from someone who doesn't typically call me that often. Okay, so I did have to decline it because I was about to start my last class of the day and I was gonna take a quiz during this class. Ended up taking the quiz, it was fine, that's not the point. When I'm going to get food, because I ordered food, so I didn't have to think about cooking, especially because this is one of the days where I have my most classes and I get out pretty late, where to the point where I'm basically hangry because I just had 3 classes back to back and had a class earlier before my 3 back to back, where yes, I could have ate, but it's like kind of difficult just based on like the timing and everything and depending where I'm at on campus. So while I'm taking my 20 to 30 minute walk to get my pickup order, I call back the person who called me before my last class. And the words that this person spoke were words that I was not predicting. And just hearing that, a wave of stress, just like, I wanted to start bawling my eyes out because that's how much stress I got just from hearing those words. And I find it very interesting because my day was going like a typical day that I would for this type of day on the day of the week, right? And then I hear a sentence and it completely throws me off my whole day. It's still throwing me off because it happened around 3 hours ago and it's still throwing me off, but I was so anxious that it took me over an hour to regulate my body from not feeling so much stress. Pretty sure I had an anxiety attack because of how much stress I accumulated, because the second that this person said the sentence that he did, I kept thinking of everything. Like, all the thoughts just swarmed in. I didn't even have to think about it. They just generated, they just popped up. And my mind is just like, what's going on? Because that's literally was my response to everything. Like, what the heck is happening? This does not make sense. It should not be happening, but it is. It was to a level of stress where I didn't even want to talk to anyone. Like, my mom ended up like calling me after she just happened and ended up calling me, and I just could not answer her phone call because I could not talk to anyone during that time because my brain was so, it wasn't even that I was like locked into the information, it was just the fact that I felt so much from what I heard and what was being told to me, and how much processing happened all at once, that I'm pretty sure my body started shaking and my eyes started to water. Like, I could control the tears back, which I was thankful for because I was legit walking. Like, I was outside. This was in the middle of the day when this happened. And I try to keep my composure as I'm just feeling so much to the point where I can't even hold it back. The second I walk through my door, I just let it all out because I'm like, I cannot control this. And it's just shocking how someone could give you such information, legit, just a sentence, a phrase was spoken, and it could turn your day like 180, your whole day 180. And I know I stated it took me around 90 minutes of me hearing the sentence, the phrase, to a point where I could actually, quote unquote, properly function, per se, where I could actually finally recall my mom and just talk to her. But still not like 100% myself, because the feelings are still running through my veins. What I will say is everything may be going smoothly, or maybe not quote unquote smoothly, but it's going in a good direction, we'll say. And then something could just drop right in front of your steps in the middle of the path, in your pathway of where you're going. It depends on how you react to it. Because I've heard people say on social media, someone could say anything to you, but if you don't want to take it, okay, then that thought belongs to that individual. It does not belong to you. And yes, I'm sharing where what someone said affected me so much, because it also depends who it's coming from. This was someone close to me, okay? And to like hear that information, it impacted my day so much. What I am stating is that you're never fully out of the clear. Although, when something does come up, not only the way you respond in that moment, but the way you respond in a few hours, in a few minutes, in a few days, determines a lot about you. Because the way I responded, it was generally out of my control. My body just did it. That automatically just what happened. And there wasn't much I could do about it. What I could control is who I ended up talking to. Like I stated, I ended up talking to no one afterwards because I could not handle it. And that's okay. Because I knew that if I were to talk to someone else, I would basically be giving them the energy that I shouldn't be giving them, because it was the energy for someone else. It was a response towards something else and not to whoever I could have potentially been talking to. Another thing is that I realized I just had to be by myself. I had to do I literally, it was so good timing that this happened before I ate, because I was like, okay, I just gotta eat, and that's it. And then I'll see how I feel afterwards. Because eating was like a slight distraction. It took, not necessarily a distraction, but it took me away from the sentence I heard. And it was the only way I physically could like take myself out of the emotion I was in, even though I was I don't even know. I just know I ate at some point. Like it's kind of like I went on autopilot. That's what that happened. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that take care of yourself first. Analyze, see what happened, and see why you had such a big reaction and why it like felt like putting an arrow through the heart, per se. Like that type of, maybe not that extreme, but up that type of pain. just list out things you can control. And then if there's nothing you can control, then not much you can do about it. Bottom line, you could be going uphill and still hit a bump in the road. But it's your determination if that bump's gonna stop you, if you're going to continue, or are you just going to turn around and head back to wherever you started. That's all I have, because that's generally all I have at the moment.